The woman in cabin 13. She hadn't planned on taking this train this late, through this desolate stretch of forgotten towns. But a missed connection and a cancelled flight had left her stranded. With this midnight express her only option. Now, surrounded by the eerie silence and the unsettling shadows that danced with the flickering overhead lights, she regretted her decision with every passing mile. But as Emily turned to leave, a small, white piece of paper fluttered from the open suitcase and landed at her feet. On it, scrawled in hurried, desperate handwriting, were 3 chilling words. Don't trust anyone. The train was nearly empty. A few scattered figures lay slumped in their seats, faces hidden by the darkness. The only sound, apart from the train's mournful groans, was the rhythmic snoring of a large man a few rows ahead. Emily tried to focus on the worn paperback in her hands, but the words swam before her eyes, her mind conjuring images from every horror story she'd ever read. Suddenly, a piercing scream ripped through the silence. Emily's heart leaped into her throat. The scream came again, closer this time, followed by a frantic pounding on the door at the far end of the carriage. It was coming from cabin 13. Panic clawed at her, urging her to stay hidden, to pretend she'd heard nothing. But another scream, filled with terror and desperation, spurred her into action. She couldn't ignore it. Slowly, Emily rose from her seat, her legs trembling. The train lurched, throwing her against the wall. She steadied herself, took a deep breath, and walked towards the source of the screams. Each step was an agonizing decision, a battle between her fear and her conscience. As she reached cabin 13, the pounding stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. The brass numbers on the door seemed to glare at her, daring her to open it. With a shaking hand, she turned the knob. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit compartment, empty except for a single, forgotten suitcase lying open on the lower berth. A cold shiver ran down Emily's spine. The woman in cabin 13 had vanished. The screams, the pounding, the terror. It was as if it had all been a figment of her imagination.